You know, Joe said so many nice things here about me and other things, but actually it's absolutely not important for me. Maybe it's important for you, right? He talks about known person, bestseller author, blah, 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 you know. You become convinced, oh, maybe that guy is good in Europe, but in US maybe not, right? Who knows? But that's not the main point, I think so. You know, maybe I start a little bit from myself, who I am, okay? Because my personal story, I think, can give to you some kind of deeper understanding about those things, right? So, I become born in a regular family. It means like common life, nothing more, right? So I was, I think, 8 years old when I found from Russian magazine some kind of yoga stuff, some breathing techniques, some pranayams, and I started to practice it. Just was curious, you know. And of course, its influences strongly. I felt many things, you know. Then I just drop it because, you know, children, they play whatever things everywhere and with everyone, and it's much more interesting. Go to the forest, you know, or fishing or something like that, right? So I was, I think, 16, and I become experienced of yoga turiya state. Do you know what is yoga turiya state? No? It's, do you know what is consciousness? Practically or by words? Consciousness is your state. You have it. It means you are aware. Opposite word is unconscious person. Do you not know what is unconscious person? Like, that's it, right? Yeah, it happens sometimes. So it means you have consciousness, but what it is, do you know it? Practically, without words. This is a difficult question, part, right? Yeah, being present and one quality of it. So I've been 16, and I found that kind state of consciousness, which one are 24/7. It means you are conscious always, even your body sleeps, body see dreams and whatever. You understood? Basically, it doesn't mean like you usually do. You go to sleep, then you're losing your consciousness, then you're waking up in dreams, then waking up back to that world, and like that. This one, it's always permanently stable, 24/7. It's turiya state. At that time, I couldn't sleep. It means, like I said, body slept, but I was awake. It was a strange experience for me. It was quite long time, but in yoga, it's highest state what humans can receive, highest. This is it's connected to the evolution, of course. So then many years goes away, and they don't practice anymore because, you know, teenager time, it's very interesting time, and like this one, yeah, don't know, right? And then I go into the Russian army, and I start practice some martial arts there and whatever. Then I came back. Then I learned Raja and Buddhi yoga. Raja and Buddhi yoga is very high teachings, which one are connected to the energies and consciousness. And I practiced it very long time, and I become master of different energies. Then, you know, students came, hundreds students with these problems, with their questions, you know, whatever. But finally, I'm going through different problems of humans, different problems, because I'm not theoretical guy, I'm absolutely practical. It means everything what I discovered, I practiced it, not blindly, but with consciousness. It means it's equal to the scientific research which one you're making to see, to understand what is what, why it happens. And yeah, actually I have very long history about learning process and teaching others. And that is reason why, guys, I know your problems. What kind of problems you have in daily life. And I think it's much more important to learn how to resolve your problems in daily life. It's not so important to become enlightened and to be spiritual, because it doesn't work like that. Why it doesn't work? Because you know, if life is very, very tough, people start to search some things which one making this life maybe more valuable or more fun or more meaningful. Then I start to do some spiritual work on like this one. But you know, for me it looks a little bit like escaping from life. What do you think? It means if you're making your practices, you become evolved to the life, you become same. It means you have like two parts of life, some spiritual life and normal life. But you know, actually, you have only one life. You don't have two lives. That is reason why I don't teach to the people those high qualities, which one I developed to myself, by myself, by help of my teachers. Who I am today? I am today Babaji Kriya Yoga Acharya. It means highest rank in yoga knowledge. And it's not, you know, some internet schools from what you can receive something. It's real one. And of course I know everything about enlightenment and other those things practical and how you can achieve those things. But you can't achieve those things if you don't know how to establish your life, your daily life. Your daily life, I don't know what is the word karma? It's cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, right? All life have established only on that phenomena. It means your daily life are not only effect, it's have a lot of causes too. And you can't escape from that because karma law bringing you always back to that life, always back, always back. So first thing, if you can't just remember it, you can't escape to some kind of spiritual high levels from your daily life. That's the reason why I teach to the people how they can make this daily life much more easier. That's first very important thing, because you can't ignore it, right? That's reason why I'm creating that art of conscious change. It means art, it means it's not like painting, you know, because if you start to look what you have inside your body, which one systems, emotions, thoughts, abilities, and other things, you just start to find that incredible inner world, right? But how much you know about it? Not so much, right? Practically, I mean. Maybe more, maybe less, but you need to know that. And if you start to know it, then you start to understand it, how it works. Why it's so important? Let me ask you, what driving forces you have, from what they begins, from outside world or inside? You can give me answer. Do you understood my question? Depends on situation. Right answer is only one. All those things starts only from you, only from inside you. Inside means all those things that live inside you. For example, who knows what is laziness? Raise your hand. It's a common thing. I think everyone knows what it is, right? So, if you become lazy, this is emotion. That emotion influencing to your life? How strongly? That was question. Very strongly, right? And you can't be lazy here. You need to work always, because if you're lazy, they throw to you the streets, right? So, and then you're using which one emotion to go over that laziness? You're pushing yourself. How are you pushing yourself? Motivation is, what is motivation? What it is?
Some reward at the end. Feeling responsible.
Feel of responsibility, right? You have thoughts about responsibility. You feel it. Where it happens? Outside or inside? Inside. Always inside, right? Never outside. Look through those examples a little bit inside what happens in your life, and you see everything starts from you. Not from outside world, from you. It means if you don't know what happens inside you, you can't become free of it. Can you imagine if you don't have any more laziness? Just not part of your life anymore. Can you imagine what can happen in your life? Just use your imagination. You will see your life become changed. How much of you feel fear? Raise your hand. All of you have fear. Even you don't raise your hand, right? Yeah, right. So, but can you imagine your life without fear? It's very difficult to even imagine it, right? Because you don't know that. You can be without fear. You can be fearless. But how you can be without fear if you don't know how it works inside you? Because fear, where you feel that fear? Where? Outside or inside? Inside, of course, inside. But if you know what it is, you can manage it easily. You can be without fear, right? So, if you have crazy thoughts, do you have crazy thoughts sometimes? Yeah, of course you have. You follow them? Sometimes. Actually, all people are following always these thoughts, right? But why do you follow your thoughts? Do you know? Because you don't have any options. You are driven by two forces, by emotions and by thinking process, by thoughts, by memories, rememberings, and imaginations, right? How good is your thinking process? You can think by one line, like this one, never jumps to the left, right side, different topics. You never can do that, right? Why? Because you don't know how to do that. You even don't know exists one option where you can think by one line, right? You don't know that quality. But it exists, and you can develop it. And so always question about how much you know about self, how much you are driver here, right? Do you know what is smart person? How much, how long time you can be smart, how long you are not smart? Do you know that? Are you measured that?
It's subjective.
Of course, sometimes you need to be smart, right? But sometimes you are not smart. But what do you think? If you are always smart, this is a good option for you. Smart doesn't mean you know everything. Smart just means, in these terms, you have very good ability to orientate, to understand what happens. That's smart guy, smart person, right? Doesn't mean your IQ is very high, but you can't do nothing, right? It's very practical. So, and you have so many options. That is the reason, like I said before, why I am creating that Art of Conscious Change courses. First course is very logical. It said, all problems what you have, they are your personal problems. Your personal problems. It means no one are guilt because you have problems. It means learn what happens inside. Second course say, learn how you can release emotions from your system. Which one emotions? Bad emotions? How many bad emotions you know? Or bad feelings? Maybe you're not expert of emotions, but you know what is bad, what means bad feelings about self, others, no matter about who, because bad feelings always inside, right? Do you remember some bad feelings?
Jealousy.
For example, jealousy,
Being angry.
being angry. Look your life. Don't look at me. Remember your life. I'm talking about your life. Look your family life, for example. You will see strugglings, non-understandings, shoutings, arguing. You see? It's your life. Of course. But if you don't have those emotions in daily life, what do you see? How your life can become. You can't even imagine it, right? It looks like, wow, what is that? I can't see my life in that perspective, right? Because you can see, because your life become free, it's become full of different options. Today you don't have options. If you look in your life today, you will see it's bordered. You are on the box. But if you're releasing emotions, the box become opened. And you have a lot of different options. You have a lot of freedom. Let me ask you maybe this more precise question for you. Do you have your personal problem? Do you know what this word problem means? Everyone knows, right? Yeah. Maybe you tried to change that many times through maybe year or years, but it's always like this one, never changes. Do you know that problem in your life? Of course you know. So let me ask you more. If you remember that problem, what do you feel about it?
Sadness and regret.
Sadness or something, you feel emotion. This is emotion. We call this is emotion. But if you don't have that emotion anymore, what happens with your problem? Goes away. Of course, you don't have it anymore. It's very, very logical, right? That is second course talking about how you can release those emotions from your life by yourself. Let me explain to you one important thing. Do you try to change others? Do you try to do that? Sure, every day, right? It works? No? They try to change you? Every day? It works? No, it doesn't work. But why are you doing that? Habit, of course, but you're wasting a lot of time. But if you're catching, wow, you're catching that understanding, oh, I need to change it. Can it gonna happen? Can it make changes? 100%, right? That is reason why only you can change your life. No one other can do that, only you. It means, it's not so good word, but you have responsibility of your life, not others. Like I said, my spiritual path and the path of life it's actually very long, yeah, very long. And why I'm talking about that? To wake up you, right? To make right understanding, you know. Here in U.S. you are I don't know. We talked with Joe. You know, you need some kind of different presentation. Oh, guys, what do you think about your life? Is it good or bad? How it looks for you? Don't worry. You like it? This one. Of course, it influences, right? Of course, it makes some kind of sense, but you know. My personal experience, because I taught thousands and thousands of people, you know, thousands and thousands. Show doesn't matter. Show is good. You're going away after that and you say, oh, what do you remember? No, that was so nice. But if asking which one experience or knowledge you received, wow, no one. My way is to explain and to connect and help you to connect it to your own life, to make understanding. Like I said, only your understanding can help you. I can only teach to you what to do to become better, nothing more. Right? That's my task. And today, if you're looking around, you know you have a lot of problems, but your friends, your colleagues, you see everywhere problems, right? Everywhere. But no solutions for those problems. No one. How many people meditating, making yogas here in this town? Whew. I think all Americans or people collecting from America came here to make yoga here, right? But it doesn't work. Still, people stay still same. Because they don't work out those things what they have inside, because they don't know how to do that. Mindfulness is very good, of course, but you know, it's only a small part of your options what you can do. Smaller part. It's good, but not good enough. Why not good enough? Because if you're making your exercises, then you're stepping out of your meditation and going to work. That full mindfulness practice coming with you, it stays there behind the closed door. Right, it's not practical actually. Are you agree with me? It can make you more calm for some time, then you're jumping back to the crazy life. Much more important to be here in the life with that mindfulness. It can be all the moment with you, whatever you're doing. Yeah, but this is not mindfulness anymore. This is beyond mindfulness. It's much more efficient and practical, right? So, today I can say 100%, people, you need to learn yourself. You need to do something with yourself, to learn really something which really can change your life. Maybe, I don't know, if you like entertainment, maybe it's okay for you, right? But look your life. After that, it's become better or not? It's become same actually, right? A little bit about myself. You know, that's what you call enlightenment. I even don't know what it is, but by your terms, I have that. 20 years already, I think so, right? And you know, if you're reaching your final state, then you start to see what is your task, what is your mission here. My mission is very simple, actually. To bring more positivity to the life, to help people to do that. And those people which one are ready, to guide them to the enlightenment. That's it, nothing more, right? So, that's your choice. Continue with old life, if you like it, or make changes. It's so simple. Maybe a few words about spirituality. Are you a spiritual person? Don't raise your hand, because now I'm just destroying your spirituality. Do you like it? No? Do you know, people have a lot of stories about spirituality. Lot, whatever things that are spiritual. Angels, magics, mantras, yantras, yoga, whatever can be spiritual for them. But you know, it's actually a joke. Sorry guys, it's a joke. You know what is spiritual, real spiritual. You know, you need to know that. Otherwise, if you don't know that, you can continue many, many years till your life ends here in the wrong path, wrong way. Spirituality is only one. That's true self. This is spiritual. Why it's spiritual? Because it's nothing. It's non-materialistic. Sometimes people talking about, oh, I'm very spiritual, you know, let's go there, let's listen meditative music, you know, like this one, you know. It's actually very good for calming down, but it's not spiritual. If you become more calmed down, it doesn't mean it's spiritual. Here's different processes, and you need to know that what really happens. But if you don't know, or whatever other things, you know, you're going to the yoga class, for example, imagine sunshine. You are on the top of mountain. You're sitting there meditating. Meditate with me. And it's so good around, you see, all San Francisco, you see it, you're sitting on the Twin Peaks, you know, there on the mountain. Just wind blowing a little bit, you know. And you see and you feel all those things. Is it spiritual? No, guys, it's imagination. Do you know what is imagination? It's creation of mind. Mind is not spiritual. It's memory. You're using that memory every day. And memory making all those continuous mistakes, what are you doing in your life, right? Spirituality starts after or beyond mind, beyond emotions, beyond your ego. It starts from your consciousness. But if you don't know what is consciousness, how you starting? You need to know all those things. You need a map. You need compass for orientation. Otherwise, you just become believer. Spirituality is not believing, it's reality. Doesn't matter for what do you believe. Do you believe for something? Guys, do you believe? Who believes to do something? Raise your hand. No, you can't raise. I don't believe. For example, maybe you believing you are not enough good person, or your life is crazy, you can nothing to do here, you know. It's believing too. Or you believing to the God, or you believing to the, I don't know, maybe freedom, maybe you believe whatever, for whatever do you believe. It's idea. Your believing is idea. What is idea? Thoughts. It's mind. Nothing more. You believe to your mind. Mind is biggest obstacle in our life after emotions. Why? What is mind? Mind is data, information from memory. Can you imagine? Your mind is data from memory. Do you thinking always? I don't think very long time anymore. If you're thinking, you're reading always data from memory. You're reading it, you're reading. Your mind is one place where you can read data from memory. Nothing more. You understand? Understood? You're reading, you're repeating your memory always, 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 always. And how to be without it? A lot of people talking about, mind is very, very bad in our life. Kill your mind. Because that is that guy. He is guilt about everything what bad things happens in your life. Have you heard that? Kill your mind, you become free. What a joke. Mind is great tool if you can use it properly. If you can't, of course, making troubles for you. But you can stop your mind. I can teach it to you here and now. You like it? Who don't like it? But before I teach it to you, I need to explain a little bit about mind. Mind is very, very important tool today. What do you think? I'm right? Thinking is number one everywhere. But actually, if you look in your mind, you will see it's actually does not help you everywhere. So mind is very important. But let's see, what is your mind? Your mind is silent or loud talking, which one becomes silent thinking. My English was okay? Understood? Loud talking, which one becomes silent thinking. Is it okay? It happens in childhood. Means if do you have children? Maybe some of you have, right? Or you saw them. They're always talking with voice. You saw it? Always. But in one day, or after a few period of time, it's become slow down or become more silent. And can you imagine? It goes inside and become your thinking process. It's very shortly, that's history of your thinking. Can you believe it? You don't believe it, of course. But why you don't believe it? Because you know, right? You are taught your brain making thoughts and other things, blah, blah, blah. Yeah? Do you saw your brain? Never, ever. Only on the picture. So, and if you know about your brain, why you don't use them properly? Because you don't know that, right? So let's go back to the thinking process. So I have proof your thinking process is actually loud talking from childhood, that kind of habit. Can you remember your voice, strong voice? Screaming or shouting. Can you do that? Just remember it. Make it more powerful. And then recognize something became tensed in your throat. You recognize it? Make that strong voice again in your head, and then recognize the tension coming back. Feel it. You found it? What is that tension there? Your vocal cords become tensed. Vocal cords making sound, voice. There are two muscles. Please relax them by intention and keep relaxed. Keep relaxed. And you will see you don't have any thoughts in your head. They're gone. Now enjoy that silence. This silence is your consciousness. So quiet. I like it always, you know. You're recognizing that silence. This is your consciousness. Consciousness is very important. Without consciousness, you are out of office, right? From life. So now you're thinking, okay, what is next? I'm making proof for you. Your thinking process actually are connected to the movement of vocal cords. It means it belongs to the loud talking. It's not created by your mind, by your brain. That childhood talking, is still here. Your mind believe it or not? My mind have maybe a lot of ideas about it, right? A lot of proofs. But just relax your vocal cords and that mind become dead again. That mind become relaxed. And finally, you can relax from your thoughts, your thinking. You know, people practicing that silence every day, and they finally receive it after 10, 15 years. Can you imagine it? You can't imagine it. But you have key to do that immediately. How valuable is that key for you? For some, yes, but for some, what just happened? Silence, and so on. You understood? Silence is only one thing, you know, but second is much more important, that consciousness, what came out now. You see, you are still alive without the thinking process. Yeah, that silence, that space, what you have now, this is your consciousness. Consciousness have a lot of good qualities. First is you become citizen of present. You don't have a past, you don't have a future, you have only here and now. Why it's so important? Because you don't have past and future. You always practically have only now. But if you're jumping through your mind to the future, to the past, you can't fix, you can't find that present, that moment where your life really happened. That's the reason why you become involved to past, your past coming from your memory, and the future, which one comes from memory too. You're like jailed, you are in the box of memory. But if you don't think anymore, you become out of box. You become citizen of now. It's that reality which one, it is reality. Can you understand how important it can be in your life? To be a realist. And then if you become realists and you start to look inside, or where what happens inside my body, you start to understand, oh, emotions raising up automatically, mind start to work automatically. Then you find out that you are on autopilot. It was always on autopilot. Approximately 95% of time, people living on autopilot. And how you can make your life better if autopilot driving? Everything is programmed. How it can be better? You need to make changes here, right? To take your place back from autopilot. Then you become again driver of your life. You are not victim here, people. You are just a little bit ignorant here. Nothing more. So let me remind for you. Those emotions. Do you know your emotions? Everything, do you know, right? What do you think? What is this origin? From what do you receive those emotions?
Well, they're triggered by something outside.
Yeah, they are triggered, but it means that thing, which one need to be triggered, must come to that place before. You are not born with emotions. You are not born with emotions.
Experience?
No, no, not experience.
Memory?
No. Memory means they need to be all already there, right?
Wine?
No.
Ego?
Hmm?
Ego?
Who?
Ego.
The ego.
Ego is complex. It's complex. It's complex. Mindset, all what happens here, plus emotions. But from what you received your emotions?
Imagination.
Imagination. No. No, 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 no.
From daily interactions.
Daily interaction. You guys talking about activating them, how to activate them. But from what they came to your system?
Society?
Society?
Survival?
Survival? No. They are taught to you. In childhood, children, they don't have emotions. Or you saw some child become, I don't know, guilt or something like that. You never see that, right? There's a very short time they are without emotions. And then they start express them. How it happens? They just taking over from people which are surrounding them. And you using today these emotions. From different persons, different emotions. It's very good complex combination of them. Because you representing that combination. You even don't know origin of your emotions. But this is one part of our education here. You are born without them. And you taught them, right? And today, can you imagine? That's reason you don't remember that, right? When you receive those emotions. Today you feel same emotions, which one become triggered by different things outside and inside too, right? You feel that is you. Because you are so used to them. Because you don't know their origin. You believe that those are your expressions. But actually not. But you know, I have one good news too here. If you are taught them, you can then release too. It means you can become free of them. Not of all of them, but by your choice. But no one now knows how to get free from them. Everyone knows how to influence to them, to hide them, to express them, to play with them, but I don't know, whatever things, right? And thinking process, your thoughts, your ability to speak. Are you born with that? No. No one become born and already thinking, right? Because thinking based on talking. And all those things, what they taught to you, you're using today, right? But if you're looking at some child, you know, that small one, and you teach to that guy's person some things, talking how things are around the globe, you know. Can that child check it out? Is it really like this or not? Never can check, right? Never. It means that child is absolutely believer, right? Believes everything what the others taught to that person. And through time, we have a lot of information inside our memory. We know everything. But we believe all those things, even lies which are not there. And we have a lot of lies in our memory. Lot. Language is artificial, do you know it? It's artificial, it's taught to you. With mistakes. What is wrong with thinking process? First, it's automatical process. You can't escape. You can't discern, you can't understand when it jumps to the memory, when it jumps to the future, when it jumps to some another information, wrong information, when it starts to give information about you, about others, about your health, about your needs. You can't orientate, right?